Okay, so my name is Carlo Palacios, and I'm going to be explaining what I did for assignment 2 of Lab Part 1. So as you can see in these three folders over here, I basically split the assignment into two folders for the first part of the lab and another folder for the second part of the lab. I'm only going to be focusing on the first part for this video. So Lab 2A contains part 1 and 2, and 2A.3 contains part 3. So I'm going to dig into the one that contains the first two. As you can see, they're listed in there. So I'm gonna go to the first part, and I have the files over there, and I'm gonna open it so you can see what I did. Okay. So first, obviously, I had to include the pthread.h file, and here would be the main method. I don't know why I have that. Okay. So this is the main method. And basically what I'm creating here first, I'm just testing the value, testing the arguments that the user is going to enter. So if the user does not enter a value, only calls the name of the program, then the number of threads that I'm going to create is 4. If the user enters more than one argument, which is not acceptable, then it's going to create an error. Else, if the user enters another argument, which will make it 2, then I'm going to grab that amount of threads that I'm going to create. So based on that number, I'm going to create an array of threads, and I'm going to start creating them with this for loop based on the number of threads that the user enter. Okay, so that's going to call simple thread method, which is this one over here. I'm going to take this argument and convert it into an int, and that which value is going to be used over here to display what thread number I have, and val is going to be displaying the value of each thread. So it's going to be looping, it's going to be going from 0 up to, well, depending on how many threads I have, and it's pretty much going to be a multiple of 20. The share variable is going to start increasing, and that's what's been changing the value of, the share value is going to be increasing, which changes the value over here, like I said, from 0, 1, 2, 3, and on. Now I'm going to be displaying the final value, and obviously this is not synchronized. So I have to hit save because I deleted that part, and I already have the file here in light green, so I'm just going to go to lab, call it, instead of 2.1, 21. So as you can see, we created 4 threads. Thread 0, thread 1, 2 is in there, 3 is in there. All of these are in order 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, the threads are not. As you can see, we have 3, 2, 1, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1. So on the final result, it's not in order either. See, thread 3 is here, thread 2 is here, thread 1. So it's not synchronized basically. Okay, so that's for that part. I'm going to move on to the other code. So I'm going to change folders. I'm still on that. So I'm going to change. Oh, that was not the right one. Lab2. Should have paused the video. So I'm going to change to lab 2.2, that folder, and I have the 7 files. Basically, I'm just going to show you the code for the changes that I did, which I basically added mutex over here, and I also added a barrier, which will be pretty useful towards the end. So after I called my mutex, I created my mutex. This part is the same. I created my barrier. I initialized it. And then I'm going to start creating my threads over here. Same part as before. It's going to start creating, and now the only difference is that this is where I initialize, or basically locked, the mutex over here. As you can see, I locked it and I locked it over here just so it can only focus on that part. that thread can only be focused on that part. Those threads are going to be running simultaneously, but it's going to be running one at a time. Now here I created my barrier, and this is just testing if the barrier is over. So this is basically what it's doing. It's creating a wall. So once all these threads are finished, let's say the first one's finished, what this is doing, it's basically putting a stop to it, so it doesn't display thread 1, the final value is this, and then keep showing the other threads, and then thread something else, the final value is that, like it did on the other program before. So this is putting like a wall to all of them, and once all those threads are done, once they're finished, they're all going to be displayed at the same time. So that's pretty much the only thing I changed on the second part of this assignment. Okay, so let's go back. I also have the file in there, so I can just run it. Lab-2. Remember the default number of threads was 4, so I have 3, 2, 1, 0, and then I have the thread's final value. That's due to the barrier that I created. I can also change the number of threads. Let's say instead of 4, I can create 7, for instance. And if we look at the order, we have, there you go, all the files are in order. And what I'm going to put 7, oh, the 7 of them will be there. Yeah, they all see the final value, so it works. Now, for the third part, that third part is still not finished, but I'm making this video because I'm running out of time. It's due tonight. So I just want to show what I did. Change lab to a-3. Wait. Let me check something. Oh, it's because I put a capital V. L. Should mean that. Okay. So what I'm basically doing, I changed the name of the file that I had to test underscore lab 2C. Let me show you what I did there. Again, this is not finished. I'm making the video just because I'm running out of time. But I will post the output on my report, since a report is easier to make than a video. So basically all the code is the same. I'm still working on this. So what I did is I created my system call right after I created my threads. I still don't know why I have this here. I created my system call, which will be there. And if I go to lab2C, this will be basically my system call. For each process, I have the name of the program, basically, the process ID. I have the process ID for the parent, and I have the state. Now, I'm not sure still what to do with the do while each thread. So that's what I'm looking into, and after I do that, I will be able to implement it and then hit make and all that. Again, this is not finished, but I'm not going to be able to record the video later, so I'm recording it now, and the proper documentation will be shown on the report of what the outcome is like. So, yep, that's it for now.